but let's look through the photos at the moment. So here you are, handsome guy, mid-30s. What is that thing you're holding in your left hand?
It was a trophy that we were given for as one of the drivers for energy, what we call energy saving. You know, as most of the countries, they are pushing for energy savings now.
Yeah.
So there's a board here, electrical board, that award us that one, because we were having our company. We also do what we call energy auditing.
Yeah.
Let's say we go to a company or a shopping mall, then we check what's their energy consumption, and we help them how best can we reduce their energy consumption. Like nowadays, we can check of, let's say if it's normal lights, they've got normal fluorescent lights, we can check for another same light, but with a different power consumption, different rating. Let's say it's a 70 watt, but you can replace it with a 20 watt, but that gives the same luminance.
Right.
So it will help them on their maximum demand to say, let's say they were using a lot of electricity, they can cut their bill with 20%. So that's when we got this trophy, because we were doing energy auditing.
Energy auditing, which showed how were you rated? So in the total amount of power saved.
You know, in terms of power, if you reduce your consumption with 30%, that's a lot. Let's say on your bill, let's say, for example, on your monthly bill, for argument's sake, let's say someone pays $30 and $1,000. If you reduce with 30% and pays $70, if we calculate that 30% in a long run, you're gonna see that in 20 years, that's a lot of saving for big companies.
Yeah.
For the big company, that's a lot of saving. So this is how we were doing it. That's why we also venture into solar to say, if you put your grid side, if you were supposed to pull, let's say 5 kilowatt from the grid, you are using 8 kilowatt. Then you pull 5 kilowatt from the grid, then you put 3 kilowatt on your roof. You are feeding on your system. You are no longer pulling 8 kilowatt, you're pulling 5 kilowatt. You reduce your consumption also. So those are some of the calculations and how we were selling to the consumers to say, this is the best that you can. And after 5 years, if it's money, this is the money that you have saved. Or in 20 years, because in business in 20 years, if you save even 15% in 20 years, it's a lot of money. You can venture into new business. So this is how we were doing it.
Something useful that a photo portfolio can show. Here you are on site. Can you describe what's going on here? Introduce this page, please.
On this page, what's happening there? I visited my guys on site. We were repairing what you call high mast lighting. As you can see, it was a big infrastructure that we use a big crane, the crane that is parking there with a big boom. We use that one to pull the wall pour down. We were doing retrofitting, changing all the luminaires around to LEDs. We're changing the old luminaires to, it's like it was retrofitting. We're changing the new LEDs and installing new DBs on the infrastructure. That was the main thing that we were doing there. This one is where I was working as a foreman on a power distribution system. As you can see, that first picture on the left on top, I was working on the overhead line. I was restoring power. There was a house that was without power, so I was restoring power there. I was working on the overhead line, repairing cables. And on the other one, that is on the right, top right, it's a street light infrastructure. I was measuring cable. There was a cable fault between the poles. So for you to positively identify, to say the cable is fault, there's things that you need to test. You need to test for your continuity, and you need to test for your insulation resistance. So I was measuring the cable. We call it measuring. I was measuring the cable there to check, is really my cable fault or there's something else. On the other one, on the bottom left, this one, it's 11 kV line, 11 kilovolt line overhead. We were pulling new conductor. That was a new line that we were installing there. As you can see, that one I was using shoes. Those are the climbing shoes that you use here. You put on those shoes, so you will be like a, like a spider. You go on the pole like this. You go up on the pole. So I was that one. And that other one on the bottom right, I was doing night shift there. I was restoring power also for the house. The house was off. They phoned the call center. Call center logged the job to us. Then I responded to that call. So I was busy working on the pole. This is the plant environment that I was working on in Zimbabwe. I don't know if you can see, I was a bit young. That one on the left top, I was in the plant. This was, I think it was second floor, because our plant was having floors. It was a floor level that we have got what we call rollers. I'll send you more pictures of that plant, but it will be having this. It will be only having some machines. That one I'm not there on that picture. That one I was in the roller floor. The other one on the right, you can see that is one of the scales that I was talking about, where we were doing also part of instrument. As you can see, that scale is more digital and electronic. We are also repairing. Those other ones on that picture on top also, we call them rollers. Those are the rollers that do the grinding of the maize when you are grinding the maize. And that other one on the left, those are the panels where all these machines that we are seeing on that plant, they'll be being controlled from those panels. Because the machines, they are there, the panels are there, then we run cables from the panels going to the machines. So those are the panels if there's a fault in the plant, let's say the siren is making noise, then you go to that plant, to that panel to check what is really happening on my panel, which machine, this is the machine, then you check relays. That's where you get your relays and your conductors there. Your power and control circuits, they are there. And also this one on the bottom, I was just doing what we call transformer maintenance. I was checking the silica gel on the transformers, where I was hanging on the transformer. It's one of our ground transformers that was supplying the plant.
I think this picture helps people understand you weren't only working at factories that were very old and making them work. You worked in some factories that were quite modern as well.
Yeah, it was some, they were quite modern, because we used to upgrade. You see what happened on these ones. Well, these machines, you get them from the suppliers, different suppliers, like let's say ABB introduce something new. This is the machine that we were using before, but now we have got a new machine. Like what they do to transformers, to say we used to have old switch gears, but now we have got new switch gears. This is the new one. Do you want to buy it? So when you buy, you have to incorporate that machine. Yeah, that one we're repairing is just the same that we were doing the retrofitting. We wanted to change all those lights there with LEDs, and we wanted to change the DB also. As you can see, there's a DB that is lying on that thing that is there. It was a retrofitting.
DB board, yeah, okay. And then on page 6.
This one, I was called to fix what do we call a dough mixer. You know, a dough mixer, that one that mixes flour.
Yeah.
Let's say they want to make bread, they want to make whatever, they use a dough mixer. So that dough mixer was having a 2-speed motor. But what was happening there, every time they switch on that dough mixer, it was tripping. It was tripping that dough mixer. So what I discovered there, these guys, this was an old machine. They were using fuses. You know the disadvantage for a fuse, it was a 3-phase. So one fuse blows, then they keep on trying to switch on the machine, but there's no enough power now, you burn your windings for the motor. So when I get there, I discovered that the fuse were bent. I tested the fuse, they are bent, and I tested the motor was bent. Because you know the operators, the machine is not running, they don't know what's happening in the panel. They keep on trying to switch on, but you are now energizing wrong voltage to the windings, then you bend the motor. So that is what happened there. So I end up removing that motor, sending it out for rewind. Then when it was back, then I went back to install it.
All right, that was a good explanation of a typical thing. Now you've done call outs before. This is a call out, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
So you not only worked in the 3 factories that were big from 1 hectare to 3 hectares, you also made call outs to other factories.
Yeah, but this one was recent when I'm here in South Africa. I'm going to check with the PPE that I'm wearing. That is the current PPE for the command that I'm working now.
Okay. All right, and then the last photo page you've got is number 7.
Which one? The one on the roof with the on solar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. You see, this one was our first installation of solar at our company. This one. We installed it's 8 kilowatt grid tied system. It was our installation that we were putting into our offices when we launched the other sister department called Sun Solar Africa. We've got what we call Sun Solar Africa. So this is when we did this installation. So from this, we did a lot of installations. We did a more in Durban, we did Joburg, we did the other ones a lot here in Cape Town. So like now it's just the installations after installation, but I'm no longer going there now because I'm more concentrated on the project that I am now.
Okay, and you explained about the solar system installations. You've been to 20 of them, and the maximum that you had done was?
It was 50 kilowatts.
50 kilowatts. Okay.
50 kilowatt system, yeah.
Okay, and then the next page, it shows very important things there. There's your trade certificate, and you've got the EWRB, 500 hours left on the left. That's the copy you got back from the New Zealand authorities showing 500 hours remaining in your supervising.
So that is the certificate, gentlemen. This one it's just an attendance certificate that I did for solar systems when we were doing basic solar system, like calculating the solar basic installation and what when they just started installing the solar. Solar started coming here. I think for the past, I did this. That was 2014. Must be 2014. I'm sure I'm going to check. I think it's 2014 when I did this one. That's when they started. They wanted this was from a company from Germany called NL Green. NL Green. They wanted to market their products more here. So the first thing that they did, they come here. They started training people about solar. Because I think they discovered that we were a bit behind in terms of solar. So they started pushing solar in Africa. Like now here they are installing it a lot because these companies, they are pushing people to install solar systems.
Anyone that wants to find out more, I guess they can contact you directly. Also, there's the video CV to look at and your normal CV.
All right. Thanks a lot, Tat.